Hi, my name is Angelina Edwardson, and I'll be presenting my argument today on why we should keep prostitution illegal here in the United States. They have done research all over the world, especially places such as Nevada, where prostitution is currently legal. And while condom usage is extremely high, these same sex workers outside of work report not using condoms at all, which is an increase in STD exposure. Only 23% of call girls and 17% of brothel workers report never having an STD. But the 2004 Raymond study shows that the consumer is willing to pay more money to not use a condom. And as soon as the prostitutes demand condom usage, they begin to get aggressive. While this is nothing new to the atmosphere, 82% report encountering abuse. The women's empowerment advocates say, well, it's her body. She has the right to exercise the power by trading sex for money. This is completely false. It's no more legal for a man to sell his body or even part of his body. Society has frowned upon selling all or part. We can't even sell a kidney if we wanted to. Not only is this a moral quandary, but it's also impossible to tell if the woman is making an informed, rational, and empowered decision, or if she's being persuaded by an outside force. Another problem with legalizing prostitution is simply supply and demand. If there's not enough prostitutes to service the area, there could be a rise in human trafficking. There are nefarious people out there willing to force young women and even men into this sex trade industry. The number of victims could increase drastically. Prostitution is a great source of tax dollars, is something that is said, but that can completely send the wrong message to our children. Children already have so many sexual messages through the media. Any message that does not convey the serious possible repercussions of sexually explicit relationships could have harmful and perhaps lifelong unintended consequences. The who is the victim question, in my opinion, is absurd. There are many victims, just like any so-called vice, that are even directly involved. Spouses, families of the prostitutes, families of the consumer, or even the children that may result from the sex act. Condoms is not a perfect science. If a child is conceived, what is the duty of the consumer? What's the duty of the prostitute? There are consequences beyond your credit card statement. It is important that as a society that we consider all of these consequences.